Hi, I'm Ray, and this is TinyTableGames. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to play Star Wars: The Outer Rim, which is a game I've wanted to play for a while that's been sitting on my shelf, and I just haven't got there. If you've been keeping up with the shorts, you've seen I've been painting a lot of miniatures, and that is for Star Wars: The Clone Wars, a pandemic-style game, which will be coming up after this one, so I better hurry up and finish painting everybody else. In any case, let's get to it. Okay, here is the board setup for Star Wars: The Outer Rim for 2 players. I will be using Bosk and Dr. Aphra. They both start with the same basic ship. Dr. Aphra went with the G9 Rigger, and Bosk went with the G1A Starfighter. They're effectively the same. The Rigger is slightly faster, and the Starfighter has slightly more firepower and a bit more shielding. So that seemed appropriate for Bosk versus Dr. Aphra. The game is pretty straightforward in how it works. It's just one player takes their turn, the other player takes their turn. Each turn is broken up into 3 phases: the planning step, the action step, and the encounter step. The first one to 10 fame, because after all, what matters more than fame in the Star Wars world, is the winner. So with that, the first phase is the planning step. We'll start with Bosk. Notice Bosk has the strength and tactics skills, and he can recover 2 damage from your character and 2 damage from your ship. That's his personal action, because I guess he's a fast healer and a good repairsman. Whatever. And you can fight a combat against a player in your space, which probably won't really apply in this case, but nonetheless, he's got that ability. Okay, for phase 1 of his turn, you have the choice of moving, gaining 2,000, or recovering your damage. You start the game, at least in Bosk's case, with 4,000 because he's the first player. The later you go in the round, the more money you get to kind of balance it out. And right now, Bosk's bounty, which is his starting one, is to hunt down Lobot and capture him and bring him to Cantonica, which is way over here. So first we got to find Lobot, and he is one of the hidden counters. They're all wobbly on these various planets. You don't know which one he's under. We know he's a gray 1-dot guy, so at least that gives you kind of a clue. So I guess for his planning phase, he is going to use his 5 movement and move to Naboo. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to Naboo. Each of those yellow dots is a waypoint, if you will, aka just another space you have to move on. Okay, and that completes his. Bleh, I am so sorry. That completes his planning phase. The next thing that happens is his action step, which usually means you buy stuff from the markets. And interestingly, you can buy from any of the market spots. There's ship repairs and more missions and all kinds of stuff and extra gear. In the game, you notice you got little slots: gear, job bounty. That's it. You can only have 1 card in each. So if you go over that, you have to throw away something and keep the other one if you want to keep it. Or a ship upgrade, which is what this one is. Capture Saw Gerrera for 17,000 and 2 fame and 1 Imperial reputation. So that's going to be what he picks up in the action step, is he's got a Saw Gerrera thing. Oh, and that means also that the rebel ship patrol moves 4 spaces closer to where Bosk is, which is always the price of picking something up from the deck. So the rebel X-Wing goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Insert your own X-Wing sound here. And that finally just leaves the encounter step, where you can either fight a patrol if there's one in your space, you can resolve an encounter card, aka one of the cards for the planet you're on, or resolve a contact token. And in this case, he's still looking for Lobot, so we're going to start with this contact token and see how it goes. This contact is Wiley. If you'll notice there, Wiley has a 22, which means that's the card we need to go grab out of the deck of pre-numbered cards. Story cards, basically. 22. Okay, most droids are rather high-strung, so Wiley's laid-back demeanor and easy charm are a pleasant surprise. If you're Orlando, you may gain the crew below and discard Wiley's token. Otherwise, you may test tech. If you pass, gain the crew and discard it. If you'd fail, you may spend 3,000 to pass instead. He becomes crew. He gives you 1 skill of influence and perform a market action even if you're at a nav point. Oh, do I care that much? Well, I guess I can try to pass a tech test. We'll see how it goes. You don't have to have the skill to take the test. It just does better for you if you do. And since Bosk doesn't have the technical skill, you just got to make an unskilled roll. All skill rolls are the same, basically. You roll 2d8, and if the result comes up, in the case of unskilled, a crit, which is the hollow explosion symbol, same as X-Wing, if you've ever played X-Wing, then you get it. I did not get it, so somebody else can try and pick him up from his now face-up location here on Naboo, and that is the end of Bosk's turn. And now it is time for Dr. Aphra. Dr. Aphra has one job at the moment. You had one job, and that is safe passage. Starting from Kessel, she needs to get to Ord Mantell. A Pike Capo is looking for someone to escort him through a dangerous sector of space. Okay, well, Dr. Aphra is on Kessel. Kessel's tricky because of the maelstrom there stopping you when you try to do anything. So it's going to take her 2 turns to get out of there even. So she will move. You know, I am a huge Star Wars fan. You know, like for example, notice the shirt. Always have been, always will be. This game is long and it is already dragging. Now, I'm not a guy who minds a long game. I mean, I play Advanced Squad Leader, for example, and that's extremely long. But I never feel like it drags. This game, I feel like, is really starting to drag. And I feel it's got a lot of, a tremendous amount of downtime, since it's all make one play, wait for your opponent, make one play. And there's multiple steps each player has to make, and everybody else is just going to sit there and stare at them while they're doing it. Is this a neat game? I like all the components and stuff. Do I think it's too long? This advised time is 2 to 3 hours to play through this game. That's way too long. To the point of it becoming tedious. I'm already getting tired of it. And I'm just playing 2-player. Bleh. So, Star Wars Outer Rim, you've seen how it plays, you got an idea how it works. I'm nowhere close to being done. Only 2 fame versus 1 fame at this point. I assume things start steamrolling as you build up more stuff, but frankly, it's not holding my interest well enough to really bother, which is amazing for a Star Wars game. So yeah, I think this is going to go on my, this is a neat game that I'm probably never going to play again, so it's going on my nope shelf to be traded off at a later date. I'm surprised, honestly. If you're surprised, put it in the comments, or if you've had the same experience where you love Star Wars, but man, this game just drags. Yeah, let me know. All right, I'm Ray. This is TinyTableGames. Thank you very much. It's always interesting when you get a surprise result like that. I really thought I was going to love this game, and I just don't. I'll see you next time.